Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. We are going to create some mountains now, and what I want to do is have my mountains just go into my clouds. You can see that I've changed my clouds slightly so that there is more of a sort of peak in my clouds here. And what I'm going to do is just try and put my mountains in there, so I don't really want those peaks in there anymore. I've chosen a different colour, so I've chosen blue for this. You could have a green mountain if you wanted to, but I've just chosen blue because blue is a contrast to this sort of peachy colour. So what I'm going to do is just have a sort of middle. I want it very light so that I can just draw and paint or sketch with my paintbrush very quickly where I'd like my mountains to go. So I kind of just want my mountains to go here, and I want a smaller one there, and maybe that one there. So what I'm going to do now is just paint all this over here like so. And then what I want to do is just make it a bit darker, and I just want the darkness because I want to make sure I know where my moon's going to go, and then that'll do me because I can make it a bit rougher later. So I want those sort of peaks. Let's make that brush a little bit smaller. And that'll be fine for me. Make it a bit darker maybe on this side, build that colour up. And then what I'm going to do is just do that. And what I'm keeping is just the darkness to sort of one side-ish, and keep it all light on the other. So you can make it all dark underneath because this is going to be this layer. If I pop into my layers now, you can see that my layers here, as I go up here, as I go up like this, you can see that my layers are going to be darker and darker in front. So I just want to undo those layers like that, and I also want to undo that because it's a bit of a cheat there. You'll have seen that I've just sort of cheated a little bit. I'm just going to go out and paint that because I can use a different medium later. I can use a pencil or a brush, and you can see now that once I've hit that red, if I just undo that, redo that for a second, my brush was down here and waiting to be cleaned, and you can see that it's created these sort of gentle edges that are kind of rough. So I'm going to keep it like that for a moment. I'm going to add a new layer. What I'm going to do is just make a darker layer now in a second, and then I'm going to go to that sort of colour, make a new layer, go into my layer here, and then here I'm going to start to create a more sort of medium ground mountain range right there, like that, in my second layer. So it's really important that you keep each thing inside a new layer. So I'm going to go and lock that one. You can do that if you want, and I'm going to go and keep it like this, ready to go into my new mountain layer, which is my middle ground. Right, year 4, as always, good